Did the Lakers offer enough for Kyrie Irving? Hell, did they even have a shot at Kyrie Irving? Who would you choose to play center field for the Dodgers? We have 4 candidates on life support, and the Rams fill in a spot on their coaching staff. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and start for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is February 6, 2023. It is a start to another glorious work week. I say that because I don't have to work this week. Sorry, fellas and ladies. Sometimes even I get a lucky break. If you like the content we put out about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comments. It's why we put this channel together in the first place. So before we go through the day's news and notes, look at the scoreboard. Yesterday, nothing. They really wanted us to watch those Pro Bowl games, didn't they? I mean, my phone has notifications from ESPN. They were showing me one pick after another of a flag football game. As if putting nothing but Stephen A. Smith commentary on my phone isn't enough to make me want to delete the app. Guys, get your head screwed on, right? Meanwhile, today the Clippers are at Brooklyn. That's a fine how do you do. The Kyrie ain't playing for neither of you showcase over on the East Coast this afternoon. Now, yesterday, I posted a special report in the aftermath of the Kyrie Irving trade because both the Lakers and the Clippers were definitely involved in the talks. It's a big deal. It's the major domino in the NBA trade deadline. I doubt any name bigger is going to be dealt. And I think the upshot is it's fair to be taking your first glance at that and saying the Lakers missed an opportunity to become title contenders like that. I also mentioned in that clip that it would be easier for the Clippers to solve their roster issues at the trade deadline than it would be for the Lakers. The Lakers were going big game hunting. They were looking to create a big three. The Clippers, they either want a traditional point guard because they're not getting what they think they have in John Wall, in Reggie Jackson, etc., or a backup center because Ivica Zubac is going to run out of gas. He's the only center that they have. So the latter seems easier to me for the Clippers. So say you're a Lakers fan. You're asking yourself, what the hell happened? We have multiple reports from actual reporters, and we're going to go through them to figure out where the trade went wrong. The first report, I am not sure I believe. Mark Stein, former ESPN scribe, took his act over to Substack, said that Nets owner Joe Tsai said he did not want Irving to go to LA. Period. Now, I will say it is possible. It is possible. Perhaps the owner was like, you know what? I gave this guy all this money. I put up with all of his drama. And now my team is the one that has to rebuild while he goes and gets paired up with LeBron James. F that. Now, that's entirely possible. I'm not sure I believe it, but it's entirely possible. Now, if that is true, then there's nothing Rob Pelinka could have possibly done. And blaming Rob Pelinka isn't fair, if that's true. On the other hand, there is a scribe who I trust a lot more, Shams Charania of The Athletic. He did his best to break down the whole Lakers, Nets, Kyrie drama all the way back to when the Lakers pursued him last summer. There were always roadblocks. Last offseason, Charania claimed that the Lakers received permission to talk to Irving's representatives last summer, but the agent never heard from the Lakers. The problem was that Irving would have had to have declined his $37 million option and take what was a $37 million contract and accept the $6 million Laker mid-level exception. The reason that the Lakers could only offer $6 million, the problem was Russell Westbrook's contract. Straight and simple. Now, you can say whatever you want about Kyrie. I wonder about the man's sanity myself. But even he knows the difference between $37 million and $6 million. So that's one of the reasons why the summer trade did not happen. There was an impasse. This time, over the last couple of days, Charania reports that the Lakers did offer Russell Westbrook and his expiring contract and 2 first-round picks. The one in 2027, the one in 2029. The problem with that was everybody asked for more. Kyrie Irving asked for more. The Nets asked for more. Irving wanted a 4-year contract for about $198 million. The Lakers offered 2 years, $80 million. And by the way, the Nets asked for more. They wanted Austin Reeves and Max Christie with Westbrook and the 2 draft picks. A 5-for-1 deal. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would have done that trade either. Finally, the Nets still have Kevin Durant and James Harden. Now, the Dallas deal, where Irving eventually went to the Mavericks, included at least a point guard who has played in Brooklyn. So he has played with Kevin Durant. He's played with James Harden. He has a vague idea of what they're trying to do. And Dallas gave Brooklyn a strong 3-and-D player. It would not surprise me if Durant even went so far as to tell the Nets, look, I played with Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City. It's not going to work here. It wouldn't surprise me. So there were a variety of reasons why a trade of Kyrie Irving to the Los Angeles Lakers simply could not happen. I do not know what the Clippers offered. Honestly, I don't think the Clippers could have offered anything even remotely as competitive as what Dallas won with or what the Lakers offered. It's just a guess, but I believe that's the case. Sharani has said the Lakers have also been linked now, if you're wondering where do the Lakers go from here. They've been linked in talks with Utah, Toronto, Charlotte, San Antonio, and Chicago. You can pretty much figure out those players on those teams that are on the trading block. Now, as for all the other online garbage that you're going to see, if you type in Kyrie Irving, if you type in Lakers, if you type in Rob Pelinka, we deal in reality here over at Faithful Angelenos. I'm not going to get all emotional over, LeBron James sent this cryptic tweet. I'm a grown-ass man. I do not speak in emoji. I am not going to try to decipher any of that crap. That's my policy. I'm sticking to it. We only deal in rumors from people we really, really trust, like a Shams Charania or a couple of other guys, or Wojnarowski. Most of the people online in the press, and in the press I might add, I've worked with some of them, and I don't trust them either. So you really have to have a reputation for me to talk about what you're writing about. Also with the Lakers, rookie Max Christie, he's been up and down with the Lakers and their G League team down in South Bay. Well, down again to the G League, but possibly for only a day. Don't be surprised if he gets promoted again in time to ride the bench when LeBron James breaks the all-time scoring record. And by the way, if you're wondering, because Max Christie was the Lakers' only draft pick in last summer, if you're wondering about his progress, it's mixed. He only gets 14 minutes a game. He's averaging 3.8 points per game, which is not much at all. But he is sinking 42% of his three-point attempts. So you can understand why the Lakers are not all that antsy to get rid of a guy sinking 42% of his threes. Austin Reeves might return to action this week, so saith Coach Darvin Ham. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury. That would be Reeves. Although it would be kind of silly to talk about Ham's hammy. Hey, yo. So what about center field for the LA Dodgers? You may disagree about Gavin Lux at shortstop. You may disagree about Miguel Vargas at second base. But you know what? The front office hath spoken. Like the Sermon on the Mount. And ye will obey. Ye will watch Miguel Vargas at second and Gavin Lux at short. But who plays center field? Said manager Dave Roberts, quote, I think that your guys' guess is as good as mine, unquote. Well, that's not good. I know these tubby little scribes. You think that they know more than the Dodgers front office? Of course not. Now, the Dodgers do have choices, mind you, but it all depends on perspective. It all depends on who can perform CPR better on their own career. Let's not do that again online. It makes me look like I'm doing... Anyway. You got Chris Taylor as an option. He plays a lot of center field. But Chris Taylor had a lousy 2022. Is he starting to decline? Is he your number one option? Trace Thompson had a surprisingly good stretch last year in center, but he's a career journeyman. He's played for 8 different organizations. So just because he had, 80 decent games in LA, is he your answer now? James Outman might be the guy. He lit it up all the way through the minor leagues, but he's only had 16 major league at-bats. Do you trust that? Jason Hayward, remember him? Once one of the game's most feared players in St. Louis, got ran out of Chicago. Almost in a hail of gunfire, they hated him so much over there. So who is best at performing CPR on his own career? Place your bets. Place your bets. Julio Urias told The Athletic that he's 100% focused on the field despite the fact that he is in a contract year. He's 27. He is the de facto Dodgers ace. Urias said he knows his agent, which by the way is Scott Boras, and LA will chat things up at some point. Urias will pitch for Mexico in the upcoming World Baseball Classic. However, there is a curious little thing, his agent being Scott Boras. The Dodgers, under the current front office, they have not been willing to give long-term contracts to Scott Boras clients. So there's a little wrinkle in there for you. Former Dodgers reliever Jake McGee is retired. He pitched for 13 seasons, won a ring with the Dodgers back in 2020. That was his only year with the Dodgers. He also pitched for San Francisco, Colorado, Washington, Milwaukee, and Tampa. So finally he gets to put away his suitcase and have a normal life. The Rams have added Nick Caley as a new tight ends coach. He coached that position with New England since 2017, but his contract expired. See, the Patriots, they hired Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator, and there's a belief that O'Brien wanted to hire his own staff. So he brought along his own tight ends coach, Will Lawing. So from the looks of things, Caley was just flat out on the outs in Boston. But before you think of Caley as a desperate grab by the Rams, as a failed retread coach, keep in mind that he didn't just interview to be a tight ends coach with the Rams. He interviewed to be an offensive coordinator with 3 teams during the offseason. So maybe this guy's a little smarter than we're going to give him credit for. By the way, there's also a possibility that the Indianapolis Colts might consider a 3rd round of interviews for a new head coach, which would leave current Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris twisting in the wind just that much longer. The Colts have a history of not getting their coaching decision done in a timely manner. You might recall a few years ago that they thought they had current Raiders coach Josh McDaniels all locked up, and McDaniels backed out at the last minute. So this kind of goes in line with the way the Colts run their show. There are apparently 7 candidates. I don't know how many would get a 3rd interview if it goes to a 3rd round of interviews. What I can also tell you is it's unlikely that you're going to hear about this problem being resolved this week. It's Super Bowl week. The NFL kind of sends a message to all the teams that says, look, we want the focus to be completely on the championship game. Don't break any major news. So it's highly unlikely you're going to hear about a head coach. Did you watch any of the Pro Bowl games? I mentioned that ESPN kept up blowing up my phone, and I would tap it and I would see a stupid clip of dudes in cargo shorts and breakaway jerseys, reaching at flags. And I'm sitting there going, I hated flag football when I was in school. Well, look, ask yourself this about flag football. When you were a kid, did you wait for your teacher to duck around the building and go have a smoke so that you guys could play real football instead? Remember that? So no, I don't want to watch grown men playing flag football either, but I digress. The point I'm getting at is Jalen Ramsey blew up Tyreek Hill. In a flag football game, Jalen Ramsey, respect, blew up Tyreek Hill. Good job. Finally, the makeover of the LA Sparks continues. They have signed veteran guard Lashia Clarendon It is an odd signing. She was decent when she could play. Her last year, she averaged 10 points per game with Minnesota, but that was 2 years ago. She did not play in the WNBA at all last year. But I realize that's not the big basketball transaction everybody's been talking about. Let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know what you think about Kyrie Irving, about the Dodgers in center field. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a key on Corte El Queso production. Take care.